Hello and welcome. This is James Blanchard, Cisneros at your service. Today I'll be reading the March 30th Daily Inspirational Message. The condensed version is 2 paragraphs long. Then I'll center myself, say a little prayer, and then make a couple comments on the message, and I trust it will assist both of us on our journeys. Okay, here we go. The title, Becoming as Little Children. Paragraph 1. Today, let us leave the hardened, desolate, and lonely world that the ego has taught us to judge and fight, and like little children, return to the hidden playground within our own hearts and minds. Let us remember that in every moment, this world is a creation of our mind. It is a reflection of what we choose to value, focus on, and support as true. If we choose to see a playground, we will play and make friends with those we meet along the way. If we choose to see it as a war zone, we will fight and defend ourselves until our last dying breath. Today, no matter how much war the ego demands, like little children, let us laugh away and overlook the silly request to judge and fight our friends. Instead, let us make a conscious decision to play with all those who God has brought to the playground. Paragraph 2. Today, how hard can a day like this be if all we're being asked to do is play nicely with the children that God has brought to the park for us to play with? Today, anytime that the ego demands that we judge and battle with our friends instead of play, let us overlook the silliness of such a request and continue our play. Remember, thanks to free will, the moment is ours to do with as we wish. Our natural way is to play. As love's creations, being loving is our most natural game. Today, remember that as love's creation, you are here to love. When you forget to love, simply laugh at the silly notion that the opposite of God, who is love and all, could be real. Then, after having recalled your true loving essence, go back to playing, to being God's child, to being who you were created to be. Okay, becoming as little children. Today, we want to practice aligning with innocence. How many times during our lives have we woken up and decided, you know what? I'm just going to see the innocence in people today. I'm going to overlook every judgment, frustration, anger, resentment, and hate that my ego has programmed me to think is real. I'm going to place that all aside today and only see innocence in my brothers and sisters. And when I see only innocence in my brothers and sisters, because we're all one, I reinforce that within myself. And I become a brighter light. I become what God created me to be, what God created me to be. A child of love, of light. Here to help other children remember who they truly are. Here to help those lost and feeling alone, that they too are innocent. They too are worthy of God's love and companionship. They too are worthy of forgiveness and compassion and hope and healing. And so that's what we did today. It's a simple, like usual, it's a simple lesson. But if you practice it wholeheartedly and consciously use your free will to practice seeing only the innocence in everybody else and overlooking the delusion, forgiving the judgment, being compassionate instead of condemning, trusting in your source instead of being fearful and anxious, helping guide your brothers and sisters to a lighter place inside of them. If you're able to use this world as a playground, then you'll be accomplishing your mission today, which is just to look on innocence. No matter how the ego has programmed you to look at a person X or Y, If the ego says judge person X or Y for whatever reason, no, you stop. You remember today your lesson plan, which is to see only innocence. You place those judgments aside, and you see them as just following their divine plan. The divine plan that they have co-created with God. It might not be perfect in your ego's eyes, but it's perfect for them. Just like your plan might not look perfect to other people, but it's perfect for you because you have co-created it along with Source. And Source is perfection. So your journey, no matter how much the ego would have you judge yourself for it, is perfect. Your journey will help you come to this place of innocence, to this place of understanding that you're indeed the light, you're not the darkness, that you're indeed love, you're not fear, that you can help guide your brothers and sisters to the truth in them by simply being and seeing innocence, looking through innocence eyes, looking through love's eyes, looking through God's eyes. And when you do that, who becomes your companion? Forgiveness, kindness, hope, healing, joy. All those become your constant companion today when you choose, consciously choose through free will to see only the innocence in your brothers and sisters. To become, again, as a little child. A child that has not been already programmed by society, by their parents, by the world, by media. A child that has come into this world as love, and only love, before all that programming. And today we practice that, being childlike, seeing the innocence, even when the world demands that we judge and condemn, demands that we get frustrated or fearful or anxious. No. We simply overlook. We overlook the story. Whatever the story is, it could be 1,000 stories that the ego would have us try to focus on. No. We overlook the story and we see only the innocence. We see only their divine plan as being perfect for them. And so there's no need for us to judge when we know that they and Source have co-created what they have co-created together. And we don't know what that is for. They'll find out what that is for, and it'll work for them, just like our plan will work for us. And so let us try that today. Again, a simple lesson, but if you practice it consciously, you'll see that the more you do so, the more natural and right it would feel to look upon others without judgment, through non-judgment, through love's lens, through the lens of innocence. And you see, wow, this kind of feels kind of nice, not having to carry as a backpack all that judgment and anger and resentment and frustration. Imagine putting that backpack down and just playing. Play. God sent us here to play, to remind each other that we're worthy of being joyful. And it's not a difficult lesson, but it's something that you kind of have to be conscious about, because the ego will answer first and loudest usually. So the ego will call out for you to judge, and will call out for you to be afraid and anxious, and will call out for you to condemn somebody because they're not doing it exactly the way you think they should be doing it. And that's okay. Simply place it aside. Remind yourself of your mission today, innocence. See only innocence as true. And then place aside the story. You don't have to judge yourself for that. You were just buying into the story for a second. But then you came back, remembered your mission, and started accomplishing your mission. Started sharing the light in you. And by sharing the light in you, you helped guide those brothers and sisters, those other children, out of the darkness, and helping them see that there is light at the end of this tunnel. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I love you very much. If you can be so kind as to like, comment, or share this video, it would help with the listening process. It might help somebody find this video someday. If you made it this far, let us today become as little children and see only the innocence in others as true, no matter what the ego says. Again, I love you very much for taking the time to be here, and God willing, we'll see each other tomorrow. Peace.